Let me take you back to the day we got married. We chose a grand abbey right in the heart of Caen. Not because we're practicing Catholics, we're not, but because the place held something sacred. When we stepped inside, I felt it immediately. A deep sense of reverence, a feeling that life and love are bigger than us. There we were beneath a ceiling that had seen centuries of couples, kings and prayers, surrounded by stone, silence and sunlight. It was more than just beautiful, it felt eternal. And that moment is where today's story begins. Because whether or not you're religious, Catholicism has shaped the way the French live. Not just in churches, but in kitchens, in town squares, and in how we love, rest, and belong. Did you know Caen, this charming city in Normandy, has no fewer than 40 churches? It's like walking through living history. Each bell tower, each stained glass window, each carved archway is a whisper from the past, reminding us how deeply faith once touched daily life. And even now, those echoes remain. So let's rewind a little. At its heart, Christianity is built around a few key ideas. That every person is made in the image of God, with dignity and worth. That love is the highest calling, not just romantic love, but love as service, as kindness, as sacrifice. That forgiveness is always possible. And that grace, the idea that we're deeply loved even when we fall short, is a gift freely given. And that life isn't just about achievement, it's about meaning, connection, and eternity. It teaches humility, charity, community, and patience. Values that still greatly shape how the French live today, whether we realise it or not. Now, even though France is largely secular today, these teachings didn't just disappear. They wove themselves into the culture. You see it in the long Sunday lunches, in the reverence for beauty and slowness. In the holidays, which often still follow the old Catholic calendar. And yes, that includes food. French cuisine owes so much to the monks and nuns who perfected cheese-making, winemaking and baking. They didn't just feed people, they nourished souls. France has long been a land where beauty is treated not as an indulgence, but as a necessity. And when you look beneath the surface of that cultural reverence, you often find the deep roots of Catholicism shaping it. In Catholic tradition, beauty isn't just decoration. It's a gateway to the divine, a way of pointing the soul towards something higher. That belief shaped the architecture, the music, the paintings, centuries of sacred art made not just to impress, but to uplift. Just think of the great cathedrals, Notre Dame, Chartres, Sainte-Chapelle, every inch carved, painted, or stained with meaning. Every beam of coloured light through those windows meant to stir the heart towards heaven. And that didn't just stay inside churches, it spilled out into the culture, into how the French approached poetry, cuisine, clothing, and of course visual art. Beauty became part of their spiritual language. And when I paint, especially here in France, I can feel some of that energy in the room, that silent pressure to not just make something good, but something meaningful. Something that might, in a small way, echo that sacred tradition. Beauty not as luxury, but as offering. Maybe that's why art still feels essential here in France. Not a distraction from life, but an essential part of it.
Of course, there was a moment when it all came crashing down. During the French Revolution in the late 1700s, Catholicism, which had been closely tied to the monarchy, came under attack. Churches were looted, priests were exiled, and religion was seen by many as oppressive. But here's what's interesting. The revolutionaries actually replaced religion with new ideals and ones that echoed the original Christian values. That's where the famous French motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, freedom, equality, brotherhood, comes in. These new values weren't anti-Christian values. In fact, they came from the same moral soil, from the belief that every person matters, that we're all part of a greater whole and that we should care for one another. So even as the church's power declined, its heart kept beating through the culture, the laws, and the everyday kindness of people. Today, many French people don't attend Mass. We don't know all the prayers, yet the values are still very much present. You see them in how we care for family, how we give space to beauty, in the way we mark time with meaning, whether it's Christmas, a wedding, or just a dinner shared slowly. Even my own wedding in a massive abbey was not just a celebration of love, but more so of the sacredness of life, of saying, this matters, this is holy. That's what Catholicism gave France and many other countries too. Not just a religion, but a way of seeing, a way of living. People are returning to the church, quietly, gently, not always in the way that their grandparents did, but out of a longing to feel grounded, rooted, home. I think in a world that's moving so fast, where so much feels uncertain, there's a quiet pull towards tradition, toward meaning, toward the idea that you don't have to invent your identity from scratch, that you can belong to something bigger, something that existed long before you were here and that will continue long after you're gone.
So whether you're wandering through a village in Provence or lighting a candle in a cathedral in Normandy, you're stepping into a story that began centuries ago. A story of faith, reverence, and belonging. Catholicism isn't just a religion in France. It's a thread in the tapestry of how the French live and love so well. And even if we're not practicing, many of us are still living it every day. Thank you for joining me in this journey today. And if you ever find yourself in Caen, just listen for the bells and let your heart be still. Until next time, à bientôt!